If you're joining us for the first time, this is the Legacy Room, and it's a place where we discuss everything estate planning. People call me Sir RO. At times, I like to call myself Uncle RO. I've got three fantastic friends here today who will be discussing a topic that does not look exciting. Um, I remember the last time we met, they called you Barbies. That's the truth.
That's just Mutiat's personal nickname for me.
Okay, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Edith Mba.
Okay, great. Edith, why did you leave out the Barbie? I was loving it.
I was wondering.
Oh, I like it. Well, my name is Baba Sunday. People like to call me Baba T, and I'm happy to be here to discuss this issue today.
My name is Mutiat Olatunji, but people call me Capone.
Well, I thought you wanted to say especially.
Yes, now it's you that started it. Yes.
Okay, so sometime, I think 3-4 months ago, there was this trending topic buzzing on the internet. And everybody, I know a couple of people that called and said, Rotimi, we want to come to your office. I'm like, what's happening? I want to fill a form. I said, what form? Say payable on death. I said, what? What's that? So I think we should just discuss it today, payable on death. Would let people know what it means, what they can do if it's possible, if we have time as a substitute. Some other things that makes better sense in the environment that we find ourselves than just the payable on death. But first, let's let people know what payable on death is. So I would like to start with you, Capone. You know I would always start with
I knew
you.
you were going to pick on me. You
let's
skipped Barbie, skipped Baba T, and jumped to me. Oh, no problem.
let's talk about payable on death.
Okay.
What is it really?
Okay, so payable on debt is an instruction that you give your bank or your financial institution saying that if anything happens to me, if I kaput today, just give 1 million to Baba T, give 2 million to Edith, and give 15 naira to Rotimi. Basically, that is what payable on debt is. If I have, so that's 1 million,
That's
550.
3 million and 50 naira. Don't worry, I will
3
help
million
you.
and
Did you
50
just say
naira.
50 million to Rotimi?
50 naira.
50
50
naira.
naira.
50 naira.
Waso.
I'm not a beneficiary, remember?
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. So basically, that's what payable on debt is. That's the entire money I have in my account. I'm saying that if anything happens to me today, I don't want this money to go through probate or anything. Bank,
Sounds
just pay it to these people straight. Let them take the money and go and flex or enjoy their life or use it for whatever they want. That is what payable on debt is. And it sounds fair if you ask me, really.
Sounds like wheels on steroid. You know, like you
Just
just,
press
show
a
up in
button.
the bank, bang bang, you just hold that envelope in your hand, and you just walk up to the cashier, just slam it on the table, bang, guy, payable on debt, 50. You know,
But it's only 50 naira.
yeah, well, in your case, in my case, how much was my own again?
1 million.
1 million. I mean, and depending on the currency, I could be balling.
Yeah.
So just a payable on debt notes, probably have a page documents. You know,
Yeah.
sounds like wheels on steroid. But question is, does it hold legal efficacy in Nigeria today?
So today we'll come back to that, and I like the concept that you have brought in, particularly the steroids part where somebody can just show up. Do you think that would have been? Let me come to Edith to ask Edith if she thinks that would have been the intention, or do you think the person that signed off in his bank, for example, would have decided that straight away Babati should get 1 million and you should get 2 million without thinking far into the future?
I highly doubt it because things change. You might be close to somebody today, or let's say, for example, if you are not married and you are seeing somebody, right? At the point in, let's say, if you open the account in a particular year and you decide, okay, 6 months into having the account, when you've put in sufficient amount of money, you're like, okay, let's say the bank reminds you, who do you want to feel as your beneficiary for that purpose? And you think, okay, maybe this is my girlfriend, and you're like, this person that is even behaving like this, I'm not really sure how she's going to be in 1 year or 2 years. Let me just even put my sister, right? So I actually agree with you that you actually do need to think father when you're making that decision?
It could be a snap decision, or it could be you are just filling one form, you have to put a name. But if it's a lot of money, you probably
Yes,
think
I was going to say that.
that what if I die? Although funny enough, ironically, I'm not sure. As a culture, do we really
Is that-
like entertaining
so-
the thought of what if I die?
No, so even if you don't entertain what if I die, but we all know that we will die. But just so imagine, let me
It's
stretch
not our
it
portion
further.
in Jesus' name.
Amen. So
That's so typical.
Capone has
Good.
talked about 1 million. So let's stretch it further. It's not 1 million. You're
Okay.
looking at 20 million. And you're looking at 40 million for it. Don't bother about me. And you're wondering, how old is this person? Imagine if the person is a minor and that person has been named as a beneficiary of the payable debt. What then happens? You mean a 15-year-old, 14-year-old will have 50 million at their disposal?
Yeah.
Because the
Well, it is what it is. For me, I think that this is something that exists in some places, and for them to implement such a thing, probably possibly have some advantages to having such an instance. We don't need to think long and hard about 3,750 naira that Babatunde has in what's that bank?
Intercontinental
Bank.
Bank.
that bank.
From very long ago. Just if he kaputs and somebody brings in something showing, and just transfer
Pay
it.
them.
So there are definitely some advantages to that cutting of the thicket of administration or bureaucracy.
Probate
You
and
get?
all of those
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel so. I feel there's something, there's merit, to some
In it,
extent in
yeah.
it, in having that instant ability to be able to, upon death, transfer wealth instead of it. How much money is locking around in accounts around the country.
I was going to
and
say that.
just because
Just because there are no estate plans.
True.
So it's payable on debt. Yeah, a
So
good
listen
estate
to me, you
plan.
are saying because there's no estate plan, because you understand what estate planning is.
Yeah.
True.
Because you play in that space. But as a layman, if I wake up in the morning and I go on a social media page and I'm seeing someone talking about payable on debt, and I know that when my neighbor's uncle, brother, sister, cousin, nephew died, the children stopped going to school because the man had money in his account, but nobody could access it. What will come to my mind? Payable on debt.
Yeah.
At least let
But
me put someone.
I also know about my uncle, sister, brother, nephew, cousin, that when the owner of the account passed on, for some strange reason, the bank gave it to that person. And the children still did not go to school. Why?
well.
Because the person did not administer those assets in the favor of the deceased beneficiaries. So I don't think
But
it's
see, at
not.
that
So
point,
again-
when I'm thinking of fable, I won't think of the ones that will go wrong. I will only think of how can this benefit. I won't start thinking about what if I give the
something
money
just
to
came to
Edith.
my mind now. Something
Okay.
just came to
Share
my
with
mind
us.
now. And I know that women run away from. So imagine you put your husband as the
No, land now.
as the beneficiary of your payable on death. And all of us know they used to say those days that men die before women. Is that still applicable?
Yes, now.
I know that 90%, and we did a survey one time, 90% of all women don't name their husbands as beneficiaries.
Yeah, true.
So how does that play for you, for example, in a payable on death?
Well,
Okay,
do you
go
want
on.
to
No,
go?
go on.
No.
Go on.
anyway,
Let-
before
Yeah.
Since it was your husband, I mean,
before you even finish, there was a scenario that came to my mind today when I saw someone talking about a man that had married the lady, and then a few years down into the marriage, he married another woman, and then she said she was no longer going to contribute into marriage anymore since he had too much money.
Yeah.
So I feel like if that's even playing for somebody that's not even thinking about, oh, what if I die? The lady is literally still alive and she's already thinking, let me put my money aside to be taking care of myself. Those are the kind of things that contribute to the mindsets that women have when they don't want to put their husbands as beneficiaries, because you're like, I will do this now. The man will use the money to marry another wife
Go and
after
take
I
care of his
pass.
babe.
Yes. They will now send my own children out of the house and all of those things. So they're like, maybe I'll name my sister. She will take my children and be taking care of them for me, And I feel like those are the things that play,
You wanted to say something.
yeah. maybe for now, because I want us to also, you know, put these things in context.
Okay.
All right. So that as we are advancing, you know, the view on pay on debt, we are able to see the, you know, the good side,
Yes.
the advantages that it can bring,
And its
and the
disadvantages.
risks that we may need to, you know, to to cover or to manage.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I feel absolutely that there's no reason why. I mean, like I said, it's something that is done in some jurisdictions.
Yeah.
It happens.
So it
I
works.
mean, it works. That means it works. But yes, there are risks, because again, because part of the reason why people invaded your office asking that, oh God, I want to sign pay on debt paper, let's do pay on debt, you know, was because, you know, just like many things Nigeria. Like my son
Yeah.
came to me one day and said, Daddy, Halloween is, I said, Hello what? I said, Halloween, you know, Halloween costume. I'm actually thinking of half Spider-Man, half Superman, you know, kind of then half skeleton. I said, oh God, Halloween no day for Nigeria. Nigeria, when you see dead people, you run. Halloween is the festival of the dead. We don't do that one here. We respect our dead. And then when we see them on TV, we give them the reverend.
R.I.P.
We tear it. If you see them in real life, you tear it. So, but you know, the boy could not really understand what I was trying to get. But obviously, we import a lot of things.
Yeah.
But when we import, we should be able to dimension what we are importing,
Yes.
and then say, okay, this is how it should apply in our local.
Certain.
Over there, there's the information data gathering and every storage is way more advanced.
Yeah.
Here, it is not so.
Yeah.
Okay, with just what's that thing called? Address code. What's that thing called? That code.
Barcode.
No, not the
PO
barcode.
box.
You know, the addresses. You know, you can tell. You know, if somebody just drop his this address code. I forgot what they call it in UK now. You can tell. You know, who the people that have used that code over time have been, where they've lived. You know, you have social security number. You have, you know, so all these things. So if
Way
you say that
advanced.
somebody should drop money and collect more, although which we have tried now with BVN and all those things, but my point is, if you are importing the idea of pay on debt, all right, we should see how it can work in a culture and a society as ours. But we should not just say pay on debt looks too flimsy,
Simplistic.
and then you
And we
just
discard
you know, just
it.
discard it.
Yeah.
I don't agree. So because I feel that there's a lot of money, there's a lot of resource that people can actually use to alleviate poverty and to avoid extreme suffering that are not accessed in Nigeria today, because, you know, instant access to these things do not really
Not
exist.
available.
Okay, so we'll just try and round up, and as we close the show today, is for me to ask Mutiat if it's not obtainable in Nigeria. What
Yes.
alternatives will you be preaching as we close?
Okay, so alternative, the first thing that comes to my mind is a trust, to be honest. And all the energy and ginger people have been using to shout payable on debt on social media, they should actually use it to preach the gospel of trust. Because it is one aspect that people don't pay attention to. Everything you can do with your payable on debt, and even more,
More.
you can achieve with a trust. And then all this part of, like you said, what if one wife's husband or something takes the money and it doesn't apply in a proper trust arrangement, because the money doesn't go to a third party or before it gets to the beneficiary. It goes directly to the beneficiary or directly to any institution that is providing a service. So I think it's time for people to think more of trust, and just let's still leave payable on debt for now, really.
Okay, so thank you, Capone. Thank you, Baba T, and thank you, Barbie.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Till
you
we
for having
meet,
us.
see you next time when we have some other exciting topics to talk about. But let me tell you, it's important that you follow us and click on the description, go to the description box below and subscribe, and ensure that you get all of the podcasts that will come your way. Thank you very much. And everybody say, bye.